Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from whichever location you are watching this video. A very warm welcome to Questpond's channel. And in this video, we'll be discussing about what happens in actual interviews when it comes to delegates and events, right? And the whole goal of creating this video is that to make you understand that when you talk about interview preparation, when you talk about clearing interviews, right, it is not just a technical thing. Technical thing must be 70%, but 30% it is psychological. 30% it depends on that what kind of answers you are giving to the interviewer and what kind of cross questions the interviewer asks you, right? So this is what this video is all about. And again, before I start this video, if you go and if you share this video on your LinkedIn, you will get this beautiful C# interview question PDF, right? So go ahead, share the link and mail us at questpond@questpond.com and we will give you this beautiful book out there. So let us get started. When this question comes up in the interview, many developers answer that delegate is a pointer to a function. Now, this answer is actually technically very right, but it is very academic. The next cross question that the interviewer can hit you is with that, why do I have to call the method through a pointer? Why do I have to invoke the method through a pointer? I can invoke it directly. And this way what will happen is the interviewer will go in a different tangent altogether. So it is better to answer some practical implementation out here, right? That's what impresses the interviewer. If you're going to go around with your academic answers, right, the interviewer will never connect with you. So for example, if you say here delegate is a callback. So for example, you have a caller and you have a callee. And let us say that the caller and the callee are in a different process, in a different thread, and they want to have communication between them, then must be, it makes sense, right? So when you start with the right answer, when you start with a practical answer, the interviewer starts connecting with you. So answering academic answers, right, just makes the interview very mundane. Another kind of answer which comes around delegates is that delegates are like abstraction. Now remember, when it comes to abstraction, right, interfaces are gods of abstraction, frankly. So when you actually put ahead this answer saying that delegate is like abstract over any kind of a method, like for example, you have a method which is operation, it takes two number. Now inside that it can do an addition or it can do a multiplication or it can do something like that. So when you say that delegate is an abstraction over a method signature, the interface can take you into a different loop and ask you that then what is so bad in interfaces? Because the whole goal of interfaces is abstraction, abstraction and abstraction. So again, this answer is technically right, but it is not the main thing. It is more of a byproduct. It is a byproduct answer. Again, when the interviewer asks about saying that where have you used delegates, developers try to create some kind of unnatural, artificial, forced answers like I have used delegates here, I have used delegates there, right? But frankly, ask your heart and write down in the comments below that many of us don't even use delegates. Definitely we use different forms of delegates. Probably we use events, we use action, we use func, we use predicate, we use lambda expression, but directly delegates is a very rare scenario, right? So when you are also truthful and more natural, right, the interviewer does connect to you. So when you say that, no, like I have not used delegates, but yes, when I double click on a button, I see a plus equal to, which is an event, right? So try to answer again, answers which are more practical in nature, wherein you get more connected with the interviewer rather than trying to form up an unnatural and an artificial answer. And this whole discussion of delegates goes into a different tangent, into a different loop when the question of events come in. And when the question of events come in, right, the developers answer so confidently, so sophisticatedly, right, saying that, okay, what is the event? Event is a encapsulation over delegates. Event is a pure publisher subscriber mechanism. Events actually help you to implement a broadcasting kind of an architecture. So remember, all of these answers are right. The only point is that, are you able to explain the interviewer what exactly is a pure publisher subscriber mechanism? That is important, right? So yes, when you're answering these sophisticated, when you're using these sophisticated vocabulary, this sophisticated technical vocabulary, make sure that you are able to communicate with the interviewer that what exactly are these words. And the interviewer can take you for a ride. Specifically, if you look at the multicast delegate and event, right, they look very similar. Because in case of multicast delegate also, you can do a plus equal to and a minus equal to. You can have a publisher subscriber mechanism, and in events also you can do that, right? So if you know the answer, write down on the comments down below that what is the difference between a multicast delegate and a event. Remember, I'll just give you the answer. The answer is pure publisher subscriber mechanism. And remember, if ever those 4 Rudra avatars of delegates, that is func, lambda, action, predicate, if all of these come in right, then it becomes very, very different scene altogether. You will see a huge Tando dance altogether, right? So remember that all of these 4 things, or even the 5 things, events, func, lambda, action, predicate, are nothing but they are derived from delegates. So that is very important to remember. The whole point of this video is that to make you realize that when interviews are happening, right, interviews should get converted into a conversation. It should not be Q&A, right? It should not be having more academic answers. If you really want to win the interviewer's heart, right, your answers should be practical. Your answers should not lead to more cross questions. For example, I talked about delegate. If you say delegate is a pointer to a function, then there is another question and another question. But when you say delegate is a callback, must be, it just hits, where it wants to hit, right? So try to see that in the interview. Try to make an interview as a conversation. So that brings us to the end of this video. My whole goal of this video was to give you an essence of how interviews actually happen. And sometimes we don't even know that the answers what you're giving out there, is it really impressing the interviewer or is it really going in a loop, right? So I hope that you got the context of this video. And thank you very much. And remember, you can go to questpond.com. You can look at our videos, what we have. You can look at our live trainings, what are happening. Remember, one of the live trainings which I'm coming around at this moment is interview preparation course, right? So must be you can have a look at that. So we have interview preparation course, we have the Azure course, we have microservices, we have the AI/ML course for C# developers. We have so many other courses out there. Go ahead, go to questpond.com and you can chat over there. Thank you very much. Happy learning, happy job hunting.